आइटम नंबर 12 श्री केशु वेणुगोपाल जी मछुआरा समुदाय के समक्ष आ रही कठिनाइयों के विषय के बारे में मत्स्य पशुपालन और डेयरी मंत्री का ध्यान आकर्षित करेंगे। श्री केसी वेणुगोपाल जी।
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, sir, for giving me opportunity. I call the attention of the Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying to the following matter of urgent public importance, and I request that he may make a statement thereon regarding hardship faced by fishermen community.
माननीय मंत्री जी।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, एक विवरण सभा पटल पर रख दिया गया।
माननीय श्री वेणुगोपाल जी।
Thank you, sir.
अभी टेबल भेज दे, कॉपी भेज।
I raise today not just a representative of the people, but as a voice for a community that lives and dies by the sea. A community whose lives are deeply connected with the waves of ocean. Their cries are often drowned out by the roaring waves of indifference and neglect. I speak for our fishermen, the unsung heroes who have the unpredictable seas to bring food to our table. But they live in the shadow of neglect. Across the vast coast of Gujarat to Kanyakumari and Bengal to deep south and in the Andaman Island and Lakshadweep, they live every day at the mercy of nature, stormy seas, harsh winds and uncertain fates. There are the people who feed our nation but struggle to feed their own family, sir. Sir, here in this country there is only one Job who didn't have the guarantee of getting wages. Every day fisherman goes to sea for fishing. Morning, evening, night, all time they are going for the fishing. Sometimes they bring with fishes, bring back. Sometimes they come with empty hands. This is the only one. ഈ ഒറ്റ ജോലി മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ സാർ ഈ ലോകത്ത്, ഈ രാജ്യത്ത്. ജോലി ചെയ്താലും കൂലി ഉറപ്പില്ലാത്ത ഒരേ ഒരു ജോലി മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. അത് മത്സ്യത്തൊഴിലാളികൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ജോലിയാണ് എന്ന് പറയട്ടെ, സങ്കടപൂർവ്വം പറയാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. അവരുടെ ജീവിത പ്രയാസങ്ങൾ, ദുരിതങ്ങൾ, വേദനകൾ പലവട്ടം സഭ ചർച്ച ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് സർ. പക്ഷേ ആ ചർച്ചകളിലൂടെയൊന്നും ഒരു പരിഹാരവും കാണാൻ കഴിയുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അങ്ങ് അനുവദിച്ച ഈ കോളിംഗ് അറ്റൻഷൻ ഞാനിവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. Sir, they do not seek rich or luxuries. All they ask for the dignity of a life without fear, a life where their children can dream beyond the horizon. When I talk about the fishermen, my colleague from Kerala will remember in 2018 when the flood tore through God's own country, it was the fishermen who came with their boats. They reached every corner. They rescued thousands of people. They were the army. They were the angels. But do we remember them, sir? നമ്മൾ അവരെ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നു സർ. അന്ന് ആ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഇത് കേരളത്തിന്റെ സൈന്യമാണെന്നും മത്സ്യത്തൊഴിലാളികളെ. വെള്ളപ്പൊക്കം വന്ന് ജനങ്ങൾ ദുരിതത്തിലായി, പാവങ്ങൾ മരിക്കുന്ന അവസ്ഥ വന്നപ്പോൾ ഈ പാവപ്പെട്ട മത്സ്യത്തൊഴിലാളികളാണ് ബോട്ടിൽ പോയി ഇവരെ മുഴുവൻ രക്ഷപ്പെടുത്തി കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്. അവരെയാണ് the army of Kerala. That point of time everybody called like them, but whether we are remembering them now, this is a question I need an answer, sir. India is one of the largest fish producing countries. Morning also Honorable Minister replied to a question. The sector provides food, nutrition and livelihood to millions. Yet what do we back to those who sustain? Sir, GDP numbers are very good. Our fishermen contribute to a booming industry, 1.24% of Indian gross value added and 7.28% to agricultural GVA in 2018 and 19. With an average growth of 7.53% in fish production, India's marine fisheries potential is immense. Morning, you spoke about it. Our exclusive economic zone spans over 2.02 million square kilometers, yet the wealth from this remains concentrated in few hands. While the true custodians of the sea, the fishermen, remain in chains of poverty, sir. It breaks my heart, sir, Honourable Speaker, to witness this painful irony. Every time I travel across vast coastal such as my constituency, Alappuzha, I see men and women whose lives taste of salt. Not the salt of the ocean, but the salt of tears, sir. Tears of hardship, tears of neglect. These are the tears of those who have given everything to the sea and received nothing but despair in return. Sir, like coastal fishermen, inland fishermen also there, sir. Apart from the sea-going fishermen, we have a considerable number of inland fishermen. The inland fisheries activities are conducted across an extensive network of rivers and canals, 1.95 lakh kilometer. Footplain lakes, 8.12 lakh hectares. Backwaters, ponds and tanks, reservoirs with an estimated fish production potential about 17 million tons. Currently, the inland fisheries has emerged as a major contributor to the overall fish production in this country. Despite India being the second largest fish producer globally, the government policies and priorities are misguided, sir. The marine fishery sector is a unique and irreplaceable source of livelihood for millions and also our inland fishing communities. Yet, we lack even basic reliable data on the socio-economic conditions of our fishermen. How can we uplift the community when we cannot even measure the suffering of them? We have institutions like the National Fisheries Development Board, NFBD, DB, and the Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, CMFRI, producing extensive research on fish species and marine resources. But where is the data on those who bring those resources to our shores? Where is the comprehensive national register of fishermen and their living standard? Are they not worthy of recognition, of being counted, of being seen? Sir, coastal zone, our coastal zone of India are among the most productive ecosystem in the world. Yet they were existential threats from sea level rise, coastal erosion and flooding. The government must answer a fundamental question. Who control our coast, sir? Who control our coast? Who is monopolizing our marine wealth while the traditional custodians are pushed aside? Honourable Speaker, sir, it is alarming that one company operates a port of terminal every 500 kilometers along India's 7,516 kilometer long coastline. Only one company has the monopoly. They have, within 500, they have their own one big endeavor. The group now controls 14 ports and terminals, representing 27% of India's total port volume. Ports from Halda in West Bengal to Vizhinjam in Kerala are under their control. Sir, the problem, what is the problem? In these areas, total privatization of these ports now creating problem for the poor fishermen. Thousands of poor fishermen are being displaced. Their livelihoods snatched away. Their futures are stolen, sir. Sir, rivers and backwaters. Look at our, I told about inland fishermen, sir. We have much of rivers and backwaters. For my own constituency, I think you had been there. One of the beautiful backwater area in the world itself. Gateway of the backwaters.
मुझे आप लेके कब गए जो मैंने देखा ही नहीं?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. I am inviting, sir. Vembanad Lake, our Parliamentary Affairs Minister like that. Vembanad Lake is one of the most beautiful lake. But nowadays, what is the poor fisherman is not in a position to fishing there because complete weed, all Vembanad Lake become weed and mud, and area is also shrinking day by day. Therefore, our water bodies has to be purified, sir. Then only proper fishing can be done in that area. We need to clean our rivers and backwaters, remove the weeds, and bring life back to these waters. Our fishermen deserve a chance to live with dignity. Sir, ma'am, now I am coming to a major point, sir, which I bring into your notice earlier also. Now, Government of India is going for a seashore mining, offshore mining, sir. The government speaks of the blue economy. But for whom? Under the offshore areas, Mineral Act 2023, private company will soon drill our sea beds, extracting crude oil, gas and minerals. What will be left for the fishermen, sir? Whose livelihood is tied to these waters? I asked a question. Our IB Eden has asked a question in this session only. The reply given by the mining minister is that before notifying the above blocks in offshore areas, the central government had consulted several key ministries, including Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and the Department of Fisheries under Ministry of Fisheries. This is a direct question to Honourable Minister. Whether the Fisheries Ministry has done a study on impact of this offshore mining. I have data by our scientists. Geological Survey of India, National Institute of Ocean Technology, National Institute of Oceanography, National Centre for Polar and Ocean Research, National Geophysical Research Institute and Earth System Science Organization are the agencies involved. These people are not studied any impact on sand mining, offshore mining. There are people who done this study. That type of people, I will tell you, sir, the studies suggest that offshore sand mining is often poorly managed, leading to severe environmental, social and economical consequences. There is a knowledge gap in offshore sand mining management and sustainability, and we need to conduct additional research to fill this gap. According to FAO Globe Fish Research Program Volume 122 2016, the main expected impact from seabed mining are 1. Changes in the seabed landscape by removing nodules from the sea floor. Number 2, changes in the marine habitat that sustain different forms of life. Number 3, sediment plumes, which will cause a reduction of oxygen and light in the water column and the introduction of metal into the water column. Next, disruption of the sea floor and redistribution of sediments, causing some benthic ecosystem and creatures to be buried. 5, very slow ecosystem recovery from the changes to the sea floor and displacement of marine life. Sir, this much serious impact, our scientists are predicting about this much serious impact on offshore mining. Our Fisheries Ministry Department is already consented for this. But for whom this Fisheries Department is working? This is for mining people or the fishermen? My direct question to you, sir. Are you working for the mining companies or the poor fishermen of this country? Sir, this is this much impactful mining. How can you allow, sir, without a proper study? Fisheries, sir, my point is coming. So without a proper study, they are doing. Premachandran already raised this issue. This Kollam area, Alappuzha area, my constituency, now they are already done tenders. Now they are going to do mining. Entire fishermen is in agitation. Kerala Assembly unanimously passed the resolution and they wrote to you, Minister. No action. The government has to come. Yesterday, our Honorable LOP Rahul Gandhiji wrote to Prime Minister to withdraw the man from the mining. Somebody has to stop this mining. Government side has to come forward onto mining to give a rescue for the poor fishermen of this country. That's why my valid points, sir, I am trying to tell that we cannot allow these things, sir. Because otherwise also fishermen are, you are not even allowing a construction of houses for the fishermen, poor fishermen. When the fisherman is going to construct a house, you will tell CRS norms are there, you are not allowed to construct a small house. Now, of large scale mining, they can do in sea. No problem. No environmental impact study. Nothing is there. Now, what government is telling? After tender, if somebody took a tender company has to do environmental impact study. What is it? Like letting the folks guard the hen house.
Honorable member, please address chair.
Sir, okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Sir, this is what letting the folks guard the hen house. This is what happened. The company has to do environmental impact study. This is ridiculous. Basically, therefore, this reckless pursuit of profit is robbing our fishermen of their heritage, their dignity, and their means of survival. Our coastal communities, environmentalists, and marine scientists are united in protest. Majority of the political parties are in protest. Then why government of India is doing all these things? My submission to the Fisheries Minister, you are a senior most leader of the ruling party also, tell the Prime Minister and to at least stop this mining process there. Sir, I am already talked about the housing issue, CRZ norms. Some amendments has been done. That also not sufficient. Poor fishermen is not having a position to construct the dwelling houses. The government has to come forward with a clear-cut, flexible idea on CRZ. The major point, IB morning raised the issue of sea erosion. Sir, you see this is shocking. 70% of the world beaches are vanishing in India. The ocean waves and currents are eating away our shores. In undeveloped places. 2 minutes. In undeveloped places, erosion comes and goes. But in developed areas, it is a disaster. A study of the National Center for Coastal Research shows Kerala is one of the worst states. More than 46% of Kerala coast has been eroded, sir, through this sea erosion. Actually, earlier same, sir, the coasts are not just land, sir. They are our borders. They are as important as our northern and western boundaries. The sea brings dangers, terrorism, sir, trafficking, sir, and drug smuggling happening through sea, sir, now. But erosion is threat too. So it is taking away land and destroying the lives of fishermen and coastal communities. These are the same people who risk their lives in flood to save others. Now we turn away the sea distortion home. Sir, one more point, sir. Kerosene, subsidized kerosene. Kerala alone has 1.95 lakh fishermen who go out to sea every day. The sea is their life. It gives a living to 8.04 lakh fisher folk. Those traditional fishermen are use small boats with outboard motors that run on kerosene. There are around 30,000 such boats in Kerala, but the kerosene they need is just there. Kerala fishermen need 51,000 kilometers of kerosene every year. But the central government keep cutting the quota, 20 every year. But the central government keep cutting the quota. 2021, Kerala got only 11,640 kiloliters. In 2023, is only 7,160, sir. In 23-24, sir, just 3,300 kiloliters. And this year is shocking, only 648 kiloliters. This is nothing other than cruelty, sir. Sir, therefore subsidized kerosene has to be increased. Last, sir, because they are not getting sufficient kerosene, they have to depend upon loans. Now entire fisherman is in a debt trap, sir. They are in a debt trap. They are in a suicidal mood. Sir, ജീവിക്കാൻ കഴിയാത്ത സാഹചര്യം. മണ്ണെണ്ണ കിട്ടാനില്ല. കടലിൽ പോയ മീൻ കിട്ടാനില്ല. അവസാനം ജീവിതത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ബാങ്കുകളിൽ നിന്ന് കടം വാങ്ങിച്ചാൽ ആ കടം വാങ്ങിച്ച ബാങ്കുകൾ അവരുടെ ജീവിതത്തെ തന്നെ വേട്ടയാടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന അതിദയനീയമായ സാഹചര്യം ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി നേരിടുന്ന ഫിഷർമെൻ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയാണ്, സർ. അവരുടെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ കേൾക്കാൻ ഇവിടെ ആരുമില്ല. ഓഫ്ഷോർ മൈനിങ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിനുവേണ്ടി എല്ലാ അന്തരീക്ഷവും ഉണ്ടാക്കും. പാവപ്പെട്ട മത്സ്യത്തൊഴിലാളിയുടെ പ്രശ്നം കേൾക്കാൻ ആരുമില്ല. സർ, ആ പ്രശ്നം കേൾക്കാൻ ഈ സർക്കാർ ഉണ്ടാകണമെന്ന് ആവശ്യപ്പെടുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയാണ് ഈ കോളിംഗ് അറ്റൻഷൻ അവതരിപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, സർ. I would request Honorable Minister, kindly look into these issues. In favor of, you are given a statement. Our statement is covering up some issues, what we are doing central government. But what you are doing specifically for fishermen house, their drinking water, their debt, nothing is covered. Please think about the poor fishermen of this country. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
TR बालू जी, आप केवल प्रश्न पूछना है. आप सीनियर लीडर कॉल अटेंशन में मेन व्यक्ति के
I understand, sir. So I'll be very short. Kindly give me a few minutes. So actually, with a heavy heart, I should like to call the attention of the Honorable Minister for Fisheries about the sad plight of Indian fishermen, especially fishermen from Tamil Nadu, who are day in, day out, are subjected to hardship in the hands of Sri Lankan security forces. And every day, government of Tamil Nadu is writing to the state guards to intervene and see that proper action is taken, or the government of Sri Lanka should be advised properly so that things may not go wrong. Sir, on 18 February, I made an observation in this house itself. On 18 February, some time back, I made an observation. On 18 February, Honorable Minister for External Affairs Jaishankar has written to me. But this is also it's a subject matter connected to the two ministries. So he has said, I quote, Prime Minister during the state visit of President Anurag Kumar Dissanayake on 15th to 17th December 2024, urged President of Dissanayake to treat the fishermen issue as a humanitarian one with the livelihood concerns, as well as to avoid use of force under all circumstances. Further raised the issue of frequent arrests, longer sentences and penalties levied on Indian fishermen with the Sri Lankan President as well. In addition, we have requested President Dissanayake for the early release and repatriation of detained Indian fishermen boats and convening of next round of fishermen levels. Sir, the things is different in the ground. The ground reality is different. Yesterday I had a discussion with the President of the Fishermen Association of Rameswaram. He categorically said, Sir, Ministry is saying something, but here in the grounds, in the fishing grounds, things are different. Each and every day, fishermen, the security forces are coming and they are arresting, not only arresting the fishermen, but also arresting the boat. They are taking away everything to the destination. And finally, the fishermen were arrested. For your information, 20 fishermen is in jail for the past 6 months. What sin has they have done it, sir? Say more than 6 months, not 1 or 2 months or few days. More than 6 months they are in the languishing in the jail, and more than 70 fishermen are in and out of Rameswaram and Pudukkottai and elsewhere. They are in the various jail for inquiry. They are keeping them for inquiries. So my only request, I won't take much time. Don't. Sir, actually, the fishermen of that area who are going for the daily wages, daily bread, they are being harassed. A country who is having friendly connection with India, they are doing a very small country. They are just making a lot of nuisance to our fishermen. This is not fair, sir. So my only request is, Honorable Prime Minister is likely to go to Sri Lanka shortly, it seems. I don't know the exact date and thing. But during the discussion with Dissanayake, there should be a lasting peace agreement. There should be a discussion, and finally there should have a lasting peace agreement with all the stakeholders, especially with the fishermen of Sri Lanka, Tamil Nadu, India, and both representatives of both the government. They should take immediate action, otherwise things will go wrong, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sri N.K. Premchandan.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, sir. This may be the first calling attention motion during this budget session. We are thankful to the Honorable Speaker for allowing such an important issue, and also thanks to Honorable learned friend Sri K.C. Venugopal for calling the attention of the Honorable Minister regarding the fisheries issue. Sir, I am not going to repeat the issues which have already been enlisted by my learned friend Sri K.C. Venugopal. Sir, the pathetic condition of the fishermen in the coastal area, there is no words to explain it. It is just like that of the tribal people in the mountain area. Sir, fishing is the only main source of income of the fishermen is the fishing. But due to the unsustainable fishing practices, deplete the fishing stocks, impacting the livelihoods of the fishermen and the health of the marine ecosystem. Rising sea temperatures, changing ocean currents and increased storm activity can disrupt the fishing grounds and threaten fish populations. And pollution from industrial and agricultural sources can contaminate fish population and make them unsafe for consumption. Sir, after the tsunami and Oki disaster in the state of Kerala and throughout the country, the quantity or the abundant fish wealth has declined like anything. In such a situation, I would like to know from the Honourable Minister, I am seeking the clarification. Clarification number one is regarding, we have passed, the Parliament has passed the law Right to Forest Act. During the UPA time, we have passed a very revolutionary enactment has been made, that is Right to Forest Act. The tribal people are having the right to enjoy the benefits of the forest. And likewise, I would like to seek a clarification or like to seek a response from the Honourable Minister, whether the government of India will think of passing a legislation, the Right to Sea Act, so as to protect the interests of the fishermen in the country. Number one. Sir, number two is yes, rightly explained regarding the offshore. Yes, sir. This is calling attention. Sir, the second one is regarding the Offshore Mines and Minerals Development Area Development Act, which was passed in the year 2023. Sir, pardon? Sir, as he has rightly pointed out, that is deep sand mining in the offshore. And Parappu area in my constituency and Alappuzha, 85 kilometers of length is there. Now the tender has been invited so as to have the sand mining. Okay. Definitely there is no doubt that the ecosystem, marine ecosystem will be disrupted like anything, and that will be adversely affecting the coastal fishermen at large. So my submission is whether, considering the agitation now which is going on in the state of Kerala, and even yesterday the leader of the opposition has rightly pointed out that it will be adversely affecting the interests of the fishermen, coastal fishermen. Would the government will reconsider and recall the tender? Because without having the environmental impact assessment, without having the social impact assessment, let me conclude. Without having this is being done, so I would like to know from the Honourable Minister, would the government will recall the tender and have a discussion at large? Without having all these things, it cannot be allowed. These are the 2 points which I would like.
मेरा सदस्यों से आग्रह है कि केवल एक प्रश्न पूछ ले उसमें.
Thank you, sir. In fact, thank you very much for permitting this entire discussion. I do have 5 clarifications to ask the Minister, sir, because these are issues I have been raising for 15 years in this House without satisfactory response. I'll be very brief on each of them. Number one, sir, coastal erosion. Yes, sir. I mean, coastal erosion, something that affects my constituency gravely. Ferocious monsoons have been devastating our coastline, destroying homes and livelihoods, and the fisher folk are suffering terribly because of a lack of adequate sea walls and groins. This issue was raised this morning by my colleague Haibi Eden. The minister's reply put the entire onus on the state government. The state government says they don't have the resources. So Bharat Mata ki dharti ja rahi hai. Ye jo akraman ho raha hai samudra se, hamari dharti ja rahe, meri constituency se 64 square kilometers chale gaye hain. तो उसमें क्या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की कोई रिस्पांसिबिलिटी नहीं है, कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं है? I would like to request the minister to assume the responsibility for protecting Indian territory. Second, sir, lack of fishing harbours. You've talked about the PMMSY supporting 100 coastal villages, but the coastal villages are not enough. They need harbours. We have, in my constituency, we have 28% of Kerala's fishermen, sir, and they have absolutely no harbours other than one major port that's now coming up. Hundreds of fishermen are literally unable to make a living. They have long-standing demands for fishing harbours in places like Puntura and Valiyadura, but no action has been taken. Okay. We would appreciate some clarification from the minister. Number 3, sir, kerosene shortage. This has been raised by many members. I'll be very brief.
जो विषय एक बार उठ गए हैं उसको दोबारा क्यों उठा?
5 प्रश्न है, sir. तीसरा ये है that the question once again is the government says they would like to encourage our fisher people to shift to cleaner fuels like LPG and PNG and so on. But they don't have engines. These are poor people. They have kerosene-fueled engines on their traditional fishing craft. Can the government If they cannot give subsidized kerosene, can they subsidize new engines to use the fuel the government wants them to use? That clarification should be given, sir. Two more on offshore mining, sir. One simple question. I had asked a question last month to which I got a reply from the minister. No, sir, 1 second. And the reply from the minister says very clearly that they have not conducted an environmental impact assessment on offshore mining. When can that be done? And finally, sir, I have also raised in this House the persistence of illegal fishing practices such as bull trawling and pair trawling in the waters of Kerala. We have asked the government in this House, sir, to actually engage the Coast Guard and the Navy to protect our fisherfolk and their livelihood. Again, will the government and the clarification let us know what they're doing about this? These issues have been raised in the House earlier.
Thank you for this great opportunity. I would like to congratulate the Honourable Senior Member Shri K.C. Venugopal ji for the calling attention, which I wholeheartedly support because this is a very important matter, sir. Sir, my specific question to the Honourable Minister through you is, we have state-of-the-art institutions in India like the CMFRI, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, SIFT, SIFNet, KUFOS, KUZAT, CSIR, and many other organizations related to scientific study of the ocean and the marine-related activities. Sir, does any of these organizations have done a scientific study on the offshore mining, its environmental impact? And sir, how can the government of India give the tender to the study? Sir, concluding. How can the government give the tender of the environment impact study to the same company who does the offshore mining? Sir, it is disastrous, sir. I would like you to intervene in this matter and
Sir, thank you, sir. I fully associate with the expression and the opinion expressed by Honourable K.C. Venugopal and others. Sir, one question also. Sir, the coastal belt faces frequent climate disruption like cyclone and extreme weather. Does the government of India have any large-scale climate resilience? Has the central government conduct any studies in mitigate this impact? And considering the success of the geotop offshore breakwater in some places in Kerala shore, does the central government envisage expanding this innovative mode of other coastal region with the provision of adequate funds?
Shafi Paramveer, Ram Shankar Rajbhar.
हमारे संसदीय क्षेत्र में तुरहा ताल है और मैदानी क्षेत्रों में जितने ताल और नदियां हैं वहां की समस्या मानवर दूसरी है। नाव भी मछुआरों के नाम नहीं होती। बड़े बड़े ठेकेदार एक मछुआ को पकड़ते हैं और नाव का ठेका ले लेते हैं मछली मारने का पोखरों के, और मछुआरों के नाम से नाम और जाल नहीं होती, केवल वो मजदूरी पर रख लिए जाते हैं। मैं सरकार के ध्यान रखना चाहता हूं महोदय कि कम से कम मछुआरों को नाव से, जाल से और ठीके से इतना प्रतिबंधित किया जाए, दिया जाए इस तरह से कि वो स्वावलंबी हों। और दूसरा मानवर, यह नियम है कि मछुआरे नदियों के किनारे और पोखरों के किनारे, तालाबों के किनारे मछली मारते हैं, वही मंडई डाल के रहते हैं। यह व्यवस्था भी है मत्स्य पालन द्वारा कि उन मछुआरों का घर बनाया जाएगा, लेकिन यह अभी तक उन मछुआरों का कोई घर भी नहीं बना। यह मैं सरकार से कहना चाहता हूं।
1 मिनट बोल ले कनिमोजी जी, 1 सेकंड।
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'd like to ask the minister and get a clarification. Many boats, over 200 boats have been taken away by the Sri Lankan army, the Navy, and it has been nationalized by the Sri Lankan government. Will the Fisheries Department or the Government of India give some compensation to these fishermen who have lost their boats?
Arvind Sawant.
Earlier it was done, sir. I want to know whether they will give a compensation because the Tamil Nadu government is giving it.
Arvind Sawant.
Thank you, माननीय अध्यक्ष साहब। मुंबई बंदर में जो सारी हमारी कोंकण के बहुत बड़ा किनारा है, 720 किलोमीटर का किनारा है महाराष्ट्र, और वहाँ बेचारे फिशरमैन जो है मछुआरे अपना काम करते हैं। सबसे पहली समस्या उनको दो आती है। इसमें एक पहली आती है कि केरोसिन नहीं मिलता, उनको डीजल और केरोसिन दोनों लगते हैं। तो केरोसिन मिलता है, डीजल सब्सिडी पे मिलना चाहिए, वो नहीं मिलता। उसके बाद में फिशरमैन और तकलीफ में आते हैं। और दूसरी बात है, जो हवामान में बदलाव आता है, तो कभी लाल झंडा बोलते हैं वो लोग। वो लाल झंडा कभी समय पे फैलता है, तब तक अंदर वो शिपिंग के लिए जाते हैं। तो सुरक्षा प्रदान करने के लिए उसके ऊपर भी मॉनिटरिंग की आवश्यकता है। ये दो काम महत्वपूर्ण है। मुंबई, एक वाकया और है, मुंबई पोर्ट अथॉरिटी जो कुछ डेवलपमेंट करती है वो मछुआरों को विश्वास में लेकर करे तो उनके लिए सहायता होगी। धन्यवाद।